This is iDesign Lab, a podcast where creativity and curiosity meet style and design. Curator of interiors, furnishings, and lifestyles. Hosted by Tiffany Woolley, an interior designer and a style enthusiast, along with her serial entrepreneur husband, Scott. iDesign Lab is your ultimate design podcast, where we explore the rich and vibrant world of design and its constant evolution in style and trends.
Welcome to the iDesign Lab podcast. Today, we are joined by the powerhouse duo behind Widell and Boschetti. Welcome, Christina Boschetti and Barrett Widell. This is no, come on in. We started backwards. It's so funny because I have to say, I feel like I know you. I follow you from online, and I just find your brand so inspiring in so many ways as a designer, not only your friendship that you've brought to the table and this beautiful business that you've created. And I'd love for you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, thank you so much. We're so excited to be on the podcast today and talk about all the amazing things. I am Barrett Widell.
I'm Christina Boschetti.
And we are Widell and Boschetti.
And you guys, you're out of Pennsylvania, correct?
We're actually out of New Jersey now.
New Jersey.
We started in Philadelphia, but during COVID, we took the move, and we are now in South Jersey.
So how did the two of you get together? How did the company start?
Realize this passion could be something so successful?
Yeah, so our road to success is not very your ordinary, I would say. It's definitely an authentic one, and it's, very true to our hearts of just who Christina and I are as people. But basically, to make a long story short, we met in the park with our two children. We were moms that didn't have any help at the time. Christina was not working at the time. I had just retired from the ballet and had actually started what was called at this time Widell Designs. Just with a pure passion out of design and kind of just figuring out what were the next steps in my career. And I met Christina and instantly connected with her in a very passionate way, even just talking about things in life at the park with our kids. And we both kind of left that day with this weird cosmic energy of something is going to happen between this friendship that just formed, at the park. And we started talking. I started telling her about this business that I was starting. I really didn't even know what I was doing. I was dabbling in design. I was dabbling in event design. And Christina shared a passion for both as well. And given her background in fashion, she had a creative outlet as well as me being in the ballet. And we kind of just really spoke each other's languages and decided from that point that even though we barely knew each other, we were going to take a leap of faith and start a business, which, again, we had no idea what we were doing. And we just said, I have connections with people in the city, meaning Philadelphia. Why don't we, approach our connections and see how we can get clients? And we started out in event design for children. So we targeted kids events and trickled in first birthdays, baby showers, whatever it could be. And then with that, we also trickled in kids interiors. So we were kind of trying to do a niche market of kids lifestyle, basically. And given that we didn't have nannies and we both were moms, it made it easy for us to bring our kids and incorporate them into our work life because we were working, with moms as our clients.
So as that started from a kids-based event business and obviously lifestyle, I love the way you mentioned that. When did you realize that there was going to be so much bigger into the interior space? Because that is quite a broad jump.
Yeah, we didn't really realize ever.
It was just happening.
It just actually happened. We ended up that meeting.
Yeah, we were at a meeting presenting our nurseries and parties that we have done. We were presenting it to a luxury rental company. And in that meeting, which mind you, both of our oldest boys were with us.
I love it.
And Christina's son Hudson was all over the place because he's wild. And my son was perfectly just sitting there. Like, it was like so funny.
They're pretty much the same now.
Yeah.
There's well. I'm not.
But we were at that meeting and they really were impressed by our interior design, like more than our party designs. And we kind of looked at each other. We left that meeting really excited. And we said, you know what? Like, maybe we should really focus on interior design. We were so nervous that no one would take us seriously because we don't have formal backgrounds. I mean, Christina went to college and she has a full fashion degree and worked, full force in fashion. I was a professional ballet dancer. My entire life was around training and having the technique of being a ballet dancer. So the two of us having these her having a degree and me having basically a degree in ballet, like to think of not having that in interior design was very daunting and worrisome that no one would take us seriously. But at the same time, her and I are such risk takers that we just decided basically a year into doing this business that we were just going to go full force into interior design and leave parties behind. And it honestly, it happened so fast. Our company grew so fast that there wasn't even a moment to think of, what are we doing and how are we doing it? It was just like we just kept riding this very fast train.
So how did your first project, first house come about? Your first interior job?
Yeah, so from a friend shell. Yeah, no, it was a nursery.
A nursery.
No, it was a nursery and it was by a friend. So all of our projects in the beginning were like friends and then word of mouth from those friends. So we didn't even have a website for the first 5 years. It was just all word of mouth.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
So you really took on an entrepreneurial spirit, which sounds like, in my mind, sometimes what you don't know is better because you're not overthinking everything. And that's where the authenticity comes in.
And I do have to say, like, I think you're born that way.
Oh, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Like, we value degrees beyond. Like, we don't hire anyone at the firm that isn't, fully trained. However, I think to run a business is a different brain mindset, and you don't need to necessarily have that degree to be that business owner. Like, my father is a extremely successful, now retired man, did not have a degree, but he was running, Fortune 500 companies. Like, you really need to have a certain mindset to be an entrepreneur, to be a business owner. So, like when people are like talking about, our formality and whether we have degrees or not, our business speaks for itself.
Definitely. I actually remember you talking about it recently on Instagram, and I so related to that because I have an art history degree, and I knew from the time I was a teenager that this was going to be what I did for my career and in my life. And I feel like it is something that you can't always teach. It's such an inherent gift, and you have to know that you were blessed with this gift to share with the world. And I just think it's so amazing that the two of you were able to connect and fill those spaces together and really create something, like you said, super fast. So what do you think now, looking back, what was it that put you in the fast lane? Was it the style? Was it your operation, the personality?
It's definitely not operations. I was going to say, it definitely was not our operations. And I
the
give
grit,
full credit to all these clients who hired us, paying top dollar when we had no idea what we were doing.
How'd you even know what to charge?
We didn't. We actually did offer. Well, in the beginning, I think I was charging $35 an hour. Yeah. Something like that. But I think honestly, what our biggest thing that Christina and I, and we're still there in the same mindset, is that nothing is ever too big or too small for us. And if we want it, we make it work.
Yeah.
And so her and I, we were getting these really large projects at that time, large. Now, it doesn't really fit in our scope, but at that time it was really large furniture. And we just took everything on. We just
figured it out.
I think the first year we had 75 projects?
Yeah.
What?
How far back? When did you start doing the interior design? What year?
10 years ago.
10 years.
Yeah.
With 2-year-olds.
So
11 years. 11.
Time flies.
So in less than 10 years, the two of you have become rock stars in the interior design world, because the two of you really are. I mean, I don't know if you realize that. Your work is absolutely amazing. I know
Aw, thank
Tiffany and the
you.
staff here, they're always like looking at your Instagram, your videos, the
Love
work
that.
that you're doing. I mean, for anyone listening to this podcast, should really go see your website and see the things that that both are doing, because it's absolutely
so much.
incredible.
Well,
Yeah,
and you're
that's so nice
intentional.
here. Just so you know, we have a new website coming.
Oh, you do? And you've got a great website. And you
We
got
have
a new one coming.
that's even better.
More
Okay.
elevated, luxurious.
Yeah, we're in the process of doing that. Ours has been 10 years it hasn't been touched, and everything's being revamped. But you also, on your website, you have a sofa line.
Yeah, we have a few collections and lines. We've got our sofa collection, Derriere. We have a lighting collection, Odette, coming out. We have a wallpaper collection in collaboration called Flight. And we're currently going to be working on a tile collection as well.
So how did those things come about? Does that come about like where you actually have the design process in your mind or the aesthetics and you bring it to brands that you love and appreciate, or are they coming to you? Or both?
Talking under us.
Yeah, so the sofa collection was the no-brainer because pretty much every single project
You're
designer,
customizing.
we design all the soft goods regardless. So
Yeah.
we were like, why don't we just sell this to people that are hiring us or other designers that want to use our collection? Because, our sofas are really, really beautiful. Not only beautiful, but they're super comfortable. And most of them are just bulletproof of the fabrics that we use. So we feel so confident in these sofas that we wanted to offer it to like the masses.
And with the lighting collection, this is kind of like an interesting way that it came about, but we were approached by a very, very large manufacturing company about doing a line with them. And we sat in a room with our entire team for a couple days and just dove into designing 25 different pieces
Wow.
that we hand sketched. Everything was really inspired by the women of the Swans from Truman Capote. The show
Such a
that had
great
come out.
backstory too.
Yeah, I mean, like they're the most classy,
Yeah.
sophisticated, fashion forward women that at that time in the world, even when they went to the grocery store, had full gloves, the jewelry, everything was so pristine and perfect, and they were true icons. So the pieces that we created were really inspired by those women and the way that they were timeless. They're even to
They
this
are.
day.
We still appreciate all of
Yes.
what they brought to the table. The
100%. So
elegance,
each piece was about that. And so we went to present this to this manufacturing company, and I think it was almost a little too out of their realm of price point that unfortunately at that time they passed on us and did move forward with somebody else. But in hindsight, it ended up being the best thing because instead of having to dumb down our designs to hit a price point that wasn't really what we had envisioned, we actually did the due diligence on our own to reach out to different manufacturers and find someone who can actually manufacture under our own label. So now we're coming out with these 3 pieces that are exactly what we wanted. They are, the utmost of craftsmanship. They're produced in the United States. It's going to be coming out this summer. We're starting with 3 pieces from the collection. Extremely high price points. This is not for your average Joe by any means. And again, it's under our name. So it is under Widell Boschetti. It's not being made by somebody and then Widell Boschetti. It is our own collection. And we will be hopefully presenting it to some beautiful furniture galleries, not showrooms, but actual galleries to, display and help sell the pieces.
So are all those pieces and like the sofas, are they all orders, custom?
Yeah.
Need to order.
So you don't
Yep.
stock, you're not making it and stocking it then.
Not now.
Right.
Again, because each piece is so customizable and to, the specifics of the client or to the trade, they're made to order. And we've had some really good purchases. Like we've had a bunch of our sofas purchased, and our wallpaper collection is doing amazing. I mean, we get orders constantly with that, which is really exciting.
So is that on your I haven't seen it on your website. I saw the sofas, but
So the wallpaper collection's not on the website yet, but it will be. It's been so far on our
social media.
The manufacturer who we collaborated with, she has it on her website. And then our lighting collection is just not finished yet, so we haven't been able to put it up. But everything will be soon on the website so that it will be even more visible.
So what does your team look like today to make
Do you
all
wanna
of
see 'em?
this happen?
They're in the back.
Your assembly line, right?
Yeah, it's a mix. It's a great mix. Yes, we have our main guy who's a project manager.
Okay.
He's pretty much Barrett and I's boss.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one that does all the the contractor facing, tons of the client facing. He manages the timelines. I mean, he does pretty much
Wow.
everything and manages our team. pretty
Wow.
much. We have a project coordinator who does all of the pricing and the invoicing and the administrative work and customer service. And then we have designers galore.
Yeah, we have 2 junior designers, we have 2 design assistants, and we have 3 interns right now.
So it sounds like a well-oiled machine. How
It
do
is.
you two, create your lanes in the business?
Yeah, so it's again very authentic in our own story and how we do this. Like, I feel like a lot of people always ask, like, "Oh, how do you and Christina divide and conquer, and what's your role and what's her role?" We both are creative, so we're both have our own clients that we're working with and creating their projects as the creative directors, and then we delegate to the team. And it's kind of just an organic way where we go in and we meet the client and we kind of leave from there and know who can take on what, and it just so happens, that way. But we are always collectively still working together. Like, even though I might have my own client, Christina knows what's going and vice versa. Like, it's a constant conversation because every day we are together and we're talking about each project every single day. So if one of us is out of town or sick or whatever it might be, we can jump in and help out because we know collectively what's going on every day at the office.
Mainly all the problems.
Of
Yeah.
course.
That's true. I do all the what we call sales calls and onboarding of clients. So
Okay.
So I'll have our first call with them, then a contract is sent, we onboard them that way. Christina and I definitely both balance out those fire calls, and sometimes I look at Christina because I'm like exhausted from maybe a sales call, and I'll be like, "Can you actually call this person?" So like we bounce off each other a lot, which is nice, and I think that's the beauty of having our type of partnership, which is more
For
of
sure.
it's more of a marriage partnership than it is like a business partnership, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
There's
You're
a lot
in
of
it together, and there's no getting
Yeah.
out of it, just getting through it.
right, and I think that's the
love
beauty of
that.
why our partnership works is because it's not thought out as a business partnership. It truly is thought out of like a love and an understanding of our friendship and wanting the same end goal. So there's compromises, but there's also a lot of respect. So I think that's really important because when you talk to a lot of businesses that have like true partnerships, a lot of it comes down to, well, who's making what and whose responsibility is
Yes.
what. And I get that and I understand that. But at the same time, you hear of why a lot of business partnerships don't end up working out. And I think because ours stems from such a deep now friendship, there's, a difference in the end goal than it is when it comes to just the business.
Well, you can tell that the two of you really are enjoying what you're doing and having a lot of
Yeah.
fun at the same time.
We
which
do.
is,
that's
which is so
necessary.
important.
Life is too short to not have
Yes.
fun. And we're in interior design. We're not surgeons. So.
Yeah.
I know, right? You got to keep it in perspective. It is.
I yesterday had the time to keep it in perspective with a client to basically explain to them, like, this is interior design. Your life will go on when it's missing one piece of
Accessory.
furniture that's not getting delivered on time for a party. Like, I think we'll still have the same outcome. Your party will still be amazing.
Nobody will know it's not there.
It's true. And I get it. I mean, trust me, we understand the importance of our job and also, their clients and what they want and what they need. But at the same time, again, it is real life here and people are making these pieces and some of them are truly handmade. And unfortunately, things happen. And this is the hardest part of our job is
Managing the
it's
details,
the management
the
side.
details, right?
I mean, I wish the design was like the main portion because we
Well, the
love
details
that.
and expectations.
right? Managing all of it.
Yeah, and clients' expectations, I think, are getting worse, honestly. Like with the way our world works now, it's just really difficult.
Well, and when you mentioned that the way our world works now, I mean, we live in Palm Beach County, so obviously clients that we're dealing with, you're close to New York City and all that beautiful area. And do you think that's due to the high-end nature of the projects that are getting more difficult, or in the expectations, or just this I want it and I want it now mentality?
I feel like what Barrett's trying to say, yes, that is part of it, but it's also like the Amazon feel.
Yes.
Correct. I agree.
It's going to be there, right there. It's going to be like, poof, there.
Or also even just returns too. Like,
Right?
Yeah.
Like they think just because you can return restoration hardware all the time, like it doesn't work like that in high-end design.
No.
And actually the higher that you get and the higher end you get with actual manufacturers and quality, it gets worse.
Right.
So,
The lead times get longer, the prices get higher, everything.
and their expectations are worse. Like yesterday when I was explaining to this manufacturer our client's concerns and his request, the guy was extremely offended by this. He was really upset. And I was just like, wow, like every day you just truly learn something new, which
Every
is
day.
the beauty of our job. But it's also the hard part of the job because you're trying to make everyone happy and you just can't.
I know you can't. And that is part of it. I always say we play like therapists sometimes, like you're managing. It's funny, as we've been doing the podcast, I've been learning so much too. There is so much philosophy that goes into, creating residences. I was always thinking of the aesthetic portion and obviously flow and function and making sure all that is in, harmony. But there's so much with this new wellness mentality too that things need to be in alignment. And you realize sometimes you're dealing with people who are not in alignment.
100%. And a lot of our projects right now are like that. So it's definitely been challenging. But at the same time, I feel like it's only making us stronger.
Yeah.
And it's actually making us better at dealing with these kind of, problems that have come about. So
I love that. And I love that, like, both of your homes take on their own aesthetics and their own, morphs in like the way you guys curate. How did your style come about? I know it's constantly evolving, and I do love that you guys work on a lot of old projects, making them new. And I would say you've nailed making them timeless. I love that you didn't fall into this certain, aesthetic that now like kind of pigeonholes it into a time zone So how did that come together? Was it your appreciation of items, of design? Where do you find your inspirations?
I mean, travel is definitely number one. Personally, for me, after I went to Paris for the first time, I feel like I really changed, like not only as a person, but like as an actual designer. Like everything became a different thought process to me. And I, that really did fully change how I look at each project. And I think you love travel as well.
Oh, travel for sure. In regards to our own homes, I designed my house because of the bones of the home that was already there. If I had purchased a different type of home, I would have designed that way.
Right.
But because of the way my home was, I really loved, and I do love all the colors, like the greens and the blacks and all that, but it just kind of fits so well. But I love, like, with style in general, with all the different aesthetics and clients that we have and their styles, it's just so fun to be able to like adapt to whatever their needs and wants are and what their homes actually, give us as a blank canvas.
And I think too, every project that we do, like I want to be a better designer than I did even on the last project. And I do I love a very visual person, and I love constantly looking online, whether it's on Pinterest or on Instagram or in even magazines. but like continuing to push my own self as a designer and really thinking like about what's really next. Like, for example, there's a project I'm working on right now and I'm trying really hard to push more of like the architectural portion of it,
Yep.
not just the wallpaper and lighting and furnishings, but like adding actual details to the wall, details to the ceiling, details to areas that like I wouldn't probably have thought about maybe even a year ago.
Right.
That now I'm paying a lot more attention to because I want to take it even to that next level. And I do think by looking at these designers that Christina and I idolize, they really do hone into those architectural features
For
a lot, whether it's
sure.
the architects that brought it in or it's them or it's a collaboration of both. But right now, I think that's like our next step is even going up a level in like luxury in the design.
Well, yeah, we have that capability to do that now that the budgets are getting larger.
Yeah.
As well.
Right.
You mentioned about travel. What areas of the world that you really love, and from a travel standpoint, that you find greater inspiration?
Well,
Where?
I mean, Paris is number one for me.
I know.
Always will be. And
It's just so incredible.
It
I
is.
love- I love London as well. I was just personally there with my family, and I absolutely love London, and I am obsessed with Paris. There's a lot of places that I still want to go to that I haven't, but I just think that, you know, Paris has the most amazing showrooms, and the flea market there is untouchable. Like nothing I think in my mind can like actually touch that. Every time we go, which I've been several times, it just feels brand new to me, and there's just endless to see. Like it just doesn't end with inspiration.
No, it's more like art and design there.
Yes, yeah.
It really is. It's another level.
It really is. And I think that's kind of where we are too, like in our lives now. Like we go to High Point Market just for fun at this point, but it's not really giving us what it used to in the past, which we understand that is for
It
a lot of
fills in-
designers.
We do incorporate highs and lows. So if we're doing the lows, we need to be able to sit, touch, and feel for our clients that want to know how that sofa might fit
Sit.
for your family room.
Right.
But it just really does it. Like in the past when we would go, we would get all the inspiration for
Yeah.
High Point. I think, you know, as
They have an antique section.
they do, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But as our business has evolved and our clientele has evolved, going to Europe is really where we need to be. So pretty much I'd say like anywhere in Europe is going to give us a ton of inspiration. We went to Salone in Milan. We're going to definitely go back. And it's a goal of mine to go to Paris at least once a year at this point now in my life. So it's not hard for us to get there either. You know,
no,
it's a-
we take it for granted that it's
Yeah.
like, you know, another time zone or this or that, but it
And it's
really,
not.
it's worth it. It really
100%.
is. So as your clientele has evolved and these projects have evolved, and it's obviously a huge part of what you do, you have stayed timeless. And I find that so inspiring, especially as we mentioned in this like Amazon world. How did you know that you weren't going to fall down that rabbit hole of just doing this cookie cutter
I
situation?
feel like just who you and I are, we're born with that.
we also don't
ability.
follow people's like lead or trends. Like you and I just do what we want to do.
Yeah.
You dress the way you want to dress. I dress the way I want to dress. Like we use inspiration all the time for sure.
We use inspiration to communicate what we're looking to
Achieve.
achieve with our design.
Mhm.
So like we'll take like a corner of a piece of millwork that has like a beautiful silhouette, and we'll be like, okay, we can take this corner and build this beautiful vanity or something like
Right.
that. And it's like, even though, you know, it inspires us, it actually helps us get to the next level. We never really like rely on that.
No, I even do that for like fashion too. Like I'll save pictures of things that I see, but then put my own twist on it. But I think Christina and I are just really our own individual people, and we've always been that way, even as kids. So I think that just is why we've never really fallen into like, because it would be so easy for us to just kind of dumb things down and do, you know, in easier way of design. I mean, even when it came to the lighting collection, people were like, well, why don't you guys try and hit a price point that's like a, you know, for a Target, like that everyone can shop? And I'm like, because that's not
That's
what we
who
want to
we
do.
are. Mm.
Yeah. I'd rather sell one piece and it be what we want than at this point right now sell 1,000 pieces just because we want to make $1 on it. Like, it's just, that's not what this has ever been about.
So what does your process look like? You onboard your clients. What is your timelines? What is like your process look like?
So the process is like forever evolving because the projects are evolving as well. But right now, I would say the process is the client comes on board. We do our first, like what we call kickoff meeting, which means we go and meet the client.
Mhm.
So we don't meet the client until they sign on. I do a phone call with them. I sign them on. There's no consultation or anything like that anymore.
Good for you.
So the client signs on. We do our kickoff meeting, which typically is Christina and I are present with our team. Our team surveys the home. Or if it's a build, then we're looking at the architectural
Architectural
plans
team.
together. Yeah, but we're just really getting to know the client in that first meeting, understanding their likes, their wants, their needs. And then from there, one of us is going to generate a mood board for the client. So that consists of 3 different moods, which is what we say is typically like picking your movie. Like, do you want a comedy, a horror, or a love, right? So it's what is the one that's really speaking to you. And then we use that to evolve and develop the actual design. And then that typically from mood board will go into what we call our materials presentation.
Okay.
That typically takes about 6 to 8 weeks. And then once that's been presented and updated and yada, yada, then we start going into our furnishings, which is again, another 6 to 8 weeks in presentation for that.
And
Unless we're in time crunch, we kind of merge the two together.
Right.
Yeah.
Understandably.
Do you rely a lot, or do you use 3D renderings?
Yeah.
Life like
It's like a 4D.
like
I
that.
know it is. And I've noticed them on, that you guys share on social media and stuff. And for me in the business, it really it's changed the game,
Yeah.
tremendously.
We're the designers that actually admit there was that renders.
Yeah.
But it's really easy for the client to vision
Visual,
Vision.
absolutely.
their intended space.
I know.
And this makes the sale that much easier for us
Yep.
So
too.
much
So
easier.
we
And-
used to do only a few rooms, and now it just makes sense to do the whole house when we do it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
honestly, in terms of the cost, it's so much of a cost savings because to have it done in-house would take so much time that we would be so behind. We wouldn't be able to take on all these projects. So it really has been beneficial. And it's also beneficial for us because we'll see things and then make decisions when we
Decisions.
sit.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm
So you're
ashamed
doing
to-
your 3D outer house. You're not doing it
Yeah.
in-house.
It's like it's more of like a 4. It's almost like I think it's more of a 4D than even a 3D. It's truly like a
Yeah,
real life.
photorealistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we do outsource it now overseas. But it is taken from our full plan. So like it's not fake. Like they're using the real materials.
Same.
Yep.
Our real CAD drawings, our millwork drawings. So like it's not like we put something into chat and then it comes up with it and
No.
it's fake. Yeah.
Well, and
No, you can't. You
ChatGPT
can't
changes
use.
everything.
Yeah, you can't use AI for
They
it.
skew everything too much.
Yeah.
No, just for fun, like invites for my kids' birthdays, but that's not it.
Yeah. So with the 3D process, working with somebody overseas, how does that look? Like how much communication do you do it like through WhatsApp or emails? How does that?
Yeah, so our team puts together a really beautiful package that's sent, and then there's a lot of emails back and forth.
Because they don't speak the same language, it's kind of hard to dictate exactly what we're saying, but we point everything out. Everything's redlined. Like there's a few iterations per space because they're just not understanding. Even stylistically, sometimes I'll put like a black blanket on this muted neutral bedroom, and she'll
Right.
just throw that on there and be like,
No,
no,
that's not going to stay.
yeah, no.
So when
not
you
only for
present these to the clients along with all the materials, and obviously it's so much more helpful to paint that picture, what happens? Do most people totally see the vision or do they want to make changes?
It's a mix of both. I mean, we've honestly, no lie, had some clients that haven't changed a single thing,
Right,
which
we
is
single.
amazing. When you're like,
And then
"Wait,
I have
what?"
some that go through so many.
Everything.
So how do you
Yeah.
figure that?
And then
like
they
when
go
it's
back to the original.
They do
That's the best.
every time, literally.
So
I really do think it has to do with like your sales pitch though, too. Like you really have to be confident when you sell your own vision for them to understand it. And I think that really does help. And even when they're trying to make changes, being confident in those as well as saying that as the designer, don't really agree with the change and really keep pushing them in their original direction. Obviously, at some point, though, if a client is being really difficult, you kind of throw your hands up in the air because at that point, it's their house and it's, it doesn't make any sense anymore. And we've been there before where, fine, like, I'm not going to sit here and fight about it anymore. I might just not photograph this project, but we're just going to get it done.
Or parts. Yeah. Some parts here and there. We'll put it up.
Yeah.
So speaking of photography, you guys have obviously worked with some obviously amazing photographers. That was one of the first things when I started in the business that I realized how important photography was. And it's such a different approach than just click. I mean, when I first hired my first photographer, it was like, well, you get 4 shots, but it's like 3 days. You know what I mean? So where did you guys find all that, importance along the way?
It was in the beginning too, as we were starting to get like our website together. It was like really important that we had good photography and for Instagram. And actually the photographer that we work with now, who we've been working with for 7+ years, we were his first interior design company that he photographed.
Wow. So you kind of grew up together.
Yeah. And now he works with like everybody. But he's incredible. No, he's incredible though.
Does he do your video as well?
No, he doesn't do video for us. We don't do we need to do more video. We haven't done like a ton, but mostly that's like done on our phone, in-house here, or it's been like in collaboration with someone else and they've hired,
But you're extremely active on social media. You've got a lot of great content you're putting up there.
Did it come naturally?
Yeah. Well, I was a performer. So for me, it's very natural to be in front of the camera, almost more so than it is even to be in front of someone's face. So I don't mind it whatsoever. And I also just don't take it too seriously. So like, I'm just going to be who I am on the camera and you can take it or you can leave it. But yeah, I think that, obviously I'm on social a lot more than Christina is. And I think because it's very comfortable. It feels like home.
Well, it's so important to getting your message out there, and it's obviously working for you, which kind of, brought me back to like your house again and your personality. I mean, you both kind of have like, what do I say? Like brands within your homes.
True. It's fun. It's really fun too that they're alike in the sense of the appreciation for the material selections and really pushing the boundaries. And, and Christina and I really curating our own spaces. But they do have their own personalities, which is so fun. And it's been, such a great way for us to even just push ourselves as designers. And I think that's truly helped us evolve as well. And it's really fun when clients come on and they talk about our homes and which maybe suits them more than another home. And it then gets you to kind of understand them as well. But we're so proud to be at a place where we can actually design a home that feels special to us, where, we didn't know that we would ever be able to do something like that in the past. But thankfully, because where we are in our business and we're able to invest in our personal spaces, it's been such a, a passion and such a project. And both of our homes are not finished. I mean, I started first. So like I'm a bit more in the finish line than Christina is, but they're both always like still in the process. And it's just been really fun to do.
Well, and I appreciate it as a viewer or somebody who's kind of taking in your content that you don't rush your personal spaces. I find that like I notice it obviously. And I love like when you do add that every intention and every detail was thoughtful. And how do you show restraint?
Yeah, it's hard to.
Little dollars.
Yeah, I was gonna say just a bank account.
Right. Yeah.
We're not just filling our houses with like, no offense to like forehands, but like we're not, or CB2, we love CB2, but we're just kind of like waiting to have like
what you want,
what we want and curated for that one intentional space. And if things are like we don't usually, we fill in things, but like we want to have like full rooms finished.
Yeah.
So we're like, so we do it that way in those type of phases.
I mean, it took me 6 years to get my dining table. So
But it was worth the wait.
that was, and I haven't even eaten at it yet. But I wanted the dining table so badly, but it was way out of what I could afford with everything else. So I waited. Like and I had a temporary table. And like, I think there's nothing at all wrong with that.
No, and I feel like that should be celebrated even more because I think that's probably why I have such a liking to the both of you is that you are so intentional, and I love that you're waiting, and I love that your projects speak that because we live in an area where these cookie cutter style houses. I understand, and there should be something for everyone, but as a designer, it's very tough. Too.
It is 100%. And I think too, a lot of people, again, in this world at this time, they're not valuing workmanship, craftsmanship. They're not valuing these pieces that should be there forever with them. And they just think everything is replaceable, which, okay, fine, it is. But I think why her and I do have such an appreciation and a love is being shown through us wanting these pieces in our house. We're not looking to replace them. Adding to them is one thing, but we're not looking to buy, a $35,000 light fixture and then just replacing it one day.
No.
Like we're saving up years and years and years to buy that because we see that in the long run staying there when, we leave this world. So
but I feel like what you guys bring to the table is educating people about that. Like, let's get past this cookie cutter, Instagram, Pinterest, like quick, look perfect in a day. Like really enjoy the process of the curation, the collecting, the hunt.
Yeah, and I think we're finally getting but I do think we're finally getting to clients who want that, where in the past we had clients that were a bit more, like everything was disposable. So it's nice that we're getting to this clientele of people that truly want like curated one-of-a-kind spaces.
Do the two of you spend a lot of time on social media just looking and seeing what's out there? And like Tiffany, she's
too much.
Too much. That's why I say
she sends me all the ideas.
Tiffany's up until 12:30, 1 o'clock every night, like 3 hours, 2 hours, just
That's
looking.
me at like 3 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is
guilty.
We always share hotel rooms when we travel together. And I see all of a sudden I'll see some light and then she'll be over here like,
I know.
3 a.m. I'm like, oh.
I do. I love it. So again, even before I was a designer, when I was like hardcore in ballet and thought that was all I was ever going to do in my life, I was a visual person like that. Like I would get magazines constantly and I would cut out every single picture and I would save it in a folder like of design, of interior design.
So you
and
really
fashion.
were drawn to it.
So I just do the same thing, which is so weird.
Yeah, I just love looking at visuals.
Yeah.
Beautiful things.
Yeah, it makes me happy. And I don't know. It's hard to get off of it.
So what is next for Widell Boschetti?
Well, I would say continuing our lines. The lighting collection is, like I said, is just going to be coming
right now.
Yeah, it's just going to be coming out. And I want this to just be the beginning of that. And then us really getting into the tile collection. But, what's next is for us to really be a design house, not just a design firm.
Okay.
What's the difference? What is the difference?
Not taking on projects, like having a full entire collection, being like a Kelly Wearstler. Like,
right.
We truly want to have. I actually saw something the other day. I don't know if you saw it online, but with Rachel Zoe, she was basically saying, like, as a stylist, like, you can never truly expand and make enough money as just being a stylist. Like, you need to have a product. And so you need to be selling a product. And I think that's really where we're next, is truly expanding on these products and having all these different lines that are going to be shoppable.
So true. Actually, we've been talking about that.
Yeah, we've been looking
growing
into
as well.
a number of things.
That's exciting. And I mean, and you
Yeah.
mentioned Kelly Wearstler. I mean, she's such a icon in our industry, right? You know,
The best. She is the best. Like, and she can't do anything wrong.
No,
she
I know.
can't.
And she's so outside the box and so
Yeah.
unapologetic.
Yeah. And she's a mom of boys, which we are. And,
Yes.
you know, I love that she like loves the beach and nature, and she's just everything about her really is amazing and so inspirational. And obviously she has like probably the most amazing team underneath her, you know, doing everything as well. But just seeing how she's been able to grow that, but always speaking to her brand,
Totally.
I think is important. So that's something that's really important here, is that our brand is very known and is everything is always under the umbrella of the brand.
Are there any other designers or, that you two follow or love to look and watch and admire?
Yeah. Kelly Cahoon, if we're saying her last name correct,
We are.
but we love
Kelly's like, she's another one that's just like next level.
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, she's already like, you know, she's
And she doesn't even really showcase like her own work. Which that's not
even
good
need
she
to.
is.
Yeah, she doesn't show, like, she's not as, like, out there. You have to
She
kind
has
of
like her inspiration.
search her.
well, she worked for Ian Schrager, which is one of you love Ian Schrager too.
Mm-hmm.
But Ian Schrager is, you know, again, another icon, and she
Yes.
worked underneath him forever. And I think she just also pushes the envelope. Everything she does is different and out of the box. And same with Julie Hillman. Like, Julie is also an incredible designer who she almost has this, I don't know if ethnic is like the right word,
Like
but she had that.
organic and
It's like this like she has these like sculptural pieces that are almost like ancestry, like
Yes.
almost Hawaiian, like, which is not something that like maybe everyone would gravitate towards, but the way that she puts it together is so chic and so mind blowing. Like, she's also just, you know, again in her own rights, like an icon. But I think really like looking to these people that aren't following molds, that are really designing within what their true design aesthetic is. And also the fact that they're all still very involved in their businesses and in their brand.
Well, that's obviously translating. So they go hand in hand to not kind of lose sight and then let go. I mean, you definitely have to stay present in the process.
100%. We're still like extremely involved with every single thing.
So do you see still taking on projects though through the years?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm just hoping that we can scale down our projects at some point. We're still have quantity. We're
Right.
still taking on,
Be choosy.
you know, a lot.
That's the quality.
We have the quality. We have
Yeah.
the quality, but we have a lot of overhead right now still with our project budgets. It's still a high overhead number. Like, to some people, it's probably crazy. Other people probably have way higher overheads. But for us right now, we still need to take on a certain amount of projects just for the overhead.
To maintain
So,
that. So how do you guys maintain all of that yourselves? I mean, the business side of things. Like, you are full-fledged entrepreneurs.
We do a business plan every year.
No, we don't.
Just kidding.
No, we do. You have your mission statement.
I think it's about allowing yourself to understand where your weaknesses are, and like constantly evolving your contract, constantly evolving your process, your pricing, the amount of projects you take on, maybe your team size. Like, I think it's really important every single year to look at where your business is, because every year your business is going to be different because the world is different.
True.
Like, last year, our business was in a totally different place than it is this year. And who knows about next year? So trying to, I think, adapt to where you are at that moment is like really important.
So do you have strategy sessions?
We do not.
So our strategy between us is just really talking and brainstorming, and whatever our findings are, and feedback from like clients or feedback from vendors. We take everything in feedback from our team. We take everything in consideration, and we kind of like, we're constantly talking all day.
Yeah.
So it's like we have that ability to bounce things off of each other at all times. We also are the neighbors.
Is there a lot
Oh,
of
you do live next door to each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 3-minute walk
That's fantastic.
Is there strategy with the social media?
So yes and no. There wasn't for like the longest time. Like I would just get on there and do whatever I feel, which I still do some of that. But as our team has grown and we've been able to delegate more, our design assistant is helping with coming up like the content. We'll talk about content together, and then she'll do now scheduled posts, which we used to not do. So we do have like a strategy there. And then trying to like plan the content. Just because I honestly don't have the time anymore to be focusing on the social media because we're still trying to just build so much over here.
And do you think that was crucial to your growth, the social media?
Yeah, I think it was. And I think being authentic like I was is what did the growth. Like people loved that part of it, and knowing that it wasn't planned and that it wasn't like, okay, today we're going to post this and this, we're going to take today to film this and put like, they loved it, just having
The
it
spontaneity
authentic
and
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so exciting. So
Yeah.
I on a like little personal side of things, tell us about Casa Alpaca.
Oh my God, the animals.
Yeah.
Well,
How does that even fit into your juggle?
I know. It's kind of crazy. So we purchased the house and it came with 3 alpacas. The old owner had like over 30 at one point as well. But when we purchased the house, he gifted us 3 because it took us 2 years to buy this house.
Wait a minute. You bought a house and it came with 3 alpacas, the house?
Yeah.
That's like someone selling their house and leaving their dog.
I know. No, it did. They were retired. They're much older, and they were, weren't able to really keep up with the animals anymore. And it took us a really long time to purchase this house. And I would go over every day pretty much to like see the animals, and he could just tell how much I loved them.
Uh-huh.
So he gave us 3, and then we kept adding and adding and adding. And at this point, we have 31 alpacas. We have 14 goats, 4 donkeys, a bull, chicken, geese, ducks, 2 dogs, like you name it.
Napping turtles.
Yeah.
Was that part of the goal? Like when you say you always went to that house, like that house was obviously calling you.
It was so crazy. I like manifested this house and made it happen. And my husband and I, like Christina and I, like just jumped into this farm life of owning a farm. And for Christmas one year, he bought me 25 alpacas. And I'm like, I could have a lot of Birkin bags by this point, but the farm is really expensive.
So you must have someone that helps you maintain it all.
We
The
do
animals.
now, but in the beginning, the first 2+
Wow.
years, Chris and I did everything ourselves. However, now we have someone who lives full-time on our property. We do have a caretaker, but we're still very involved. Like Chris still does all the shots for the animals. We have a vet who comes out. I know some of all the hair. Chris still picks, Chris does the, so like our caretaker does the day-to-day, but we are still very actively involved in the day-to-day as well.
What does your husband do?
He has, he's an entrepreneur as well. He has a party rental business, and he also owns a restaurant and a bar.
Okay.
And does Christina like the animals too?
Well, so I reap all the benefits without having to spend all the dollars at lunch bags.
I love it.
I love them. Like even every time I go to her house, like it's just like so peaceful. Like I could be in the worst mood ever, and then all of a sudden I see the animals, and they're adorable and so precious, and it's like they're just so unique. And it's just like an amazing livelihood.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is
Because
such
they're
a
right
funny
there. It's not like they're, like,
juxtaposition.
You don't have to walk to like a barn to go see them. Like we're literally, you drive up and they're all right there.
Yeah.
And was it always that way, or you designed it to be that experience upon arrival, and like
It
you
was-
curated the?
It was partially that way, but we did expand a lot of the farm because we expanded the quantity and the type of animals that have to be separated. So we've made it a much, like even with our pool, we like built it so that the animals can come up pretty much right to where you're swimming. So yeah, it is a full experience. Like you don't feel like you're in New Jersey. That's for sure.
That is a riot. So who lived next door to each other first? Like how did you guys get to that space?
No, I bought the house first, and it was during COVID that this all happened. Christina was coming to visit, obviously, because we were
Every day.
we were working, but also
Working together. And
yeah, but she was still in Philly with like barely any outdoor space. Obviously, I have 7 acres, so she's coming over with the kids. We're having like mud baths and White Claw every 5 seconds.
And I literally had just built my home for 2.5 years.
Oh,
And I
wow.
only lived there for a year when I decided I needed to move.
Wow.
So I literally lived there for a year and a half.
Yeah. And she just really, I think, fell in love with the space. The kids loved it. And I love to play real estate agent. So I started showing her some homes. And the one that really fit the bill was literally right next door.
What a blessing. Did your kids
Yeah.
have to change schools and all of
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
they all did. So our youngest one started out fresh, like in our town, in their public district. But our older boys had to change schools because they had already been in school.
So how far of a distance did you move from?
It's just 25 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the business,
But it's actually,
the
it's
business
perfect
stayed
lo-
where it was?
sorry.
The business stayed where it was?
It did for a little bit, and then we moved it here, which was a much, smarter and safer space. So we were really thankful for that. But for us, this location is amazing because to get to New York, it's an hour and a half. We work a lot in Connecticut. We work a lot in, Philly. And so it's easy in terms of location for us to get back and forth. And then also we work now a lot in Florida. So to get to the airport is not a big deal either.
It's amazing. Well,
Yeah.
How did you end up coming to Florida? Was it a client that you did work for that?
Yeah. Yeah. So we have 4 projects in Florida.
which areas?
So we have one. Well, we had one in Coconut Grove. We've got one in Boca. We have one in Ball Harbor and in Vero.
How
Okay.
exciting.
So you're spaced out quite a bit with those.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Well, this has been such a fun conversation, and I'm just so grateful to meet you guys through the screen here in real life.
We want to ask you a last couple of questions we like to ask. So you guys love to travel. Tell us, hotel.
Favorite
What
hotel?
favorite
Well,
hotel for design?
Yeah, the
And the Rosebud.
De Brion.
Yeah, in
In
Paris.
Paris, which is the Rosewood in Paris.
Yeah.
That's our hotel.
That one.
And the restaurant.
yeah,
Everything.
everything about it is perfection. It is.
Yeah, it is.
I kind of
Every
agree with
question
that
you're
one.
going to ask, Barrett's going to say Paris. Paris. Paris.
We have a daughter named Paris
Aw.
because we actually got engaged in Paris 25 years ago. So we share the
Amazing.
passion. It's definitely
Yeah, it's our favorite city to go to.
I love that.
We were there
people used to
last
say I
summer.
look like Paris Hilton, so that helps.
Yeah. Well, I was against it when we were thinking about it because at that time she was, a big name and in the news and everything. And I was like, I don't want
Yeah.
a daughter like Paris Hilton. No.
It's a good name.
It's
Yeah.
a cute name. And then what do you have like a signature item that you leave with your projects or any little finishing touch that becomes like your little
like a
signature?
Well, we used to always use a horse, like in something, like
Oh, yeah.
No, but I would say honestly, lighting is our signature. Like people always talk about our lighting choices, and that really takes us like to another level. So I feel like that's like kind of our signature.
That is your signature.
I'll tell you a little funny story. So every house that Tiffany finishes, we have a tequila company.
Ooh, love that.
It's called Rock and Roll Tequila. The bottles are in the shape of guitars. So when she does her, like we just did one a week ago, the house was empty, she completely remodeled the whole house. And then in that one day, all the furniture and everything went in the
Install
house.
day.
The people went to a spa for the day. They came that evening. So she has me come. I make margaritas. So when she walks them around their house for the first time, they're sipping, a tequila and a margarita,
love
and she's
that.
giving them their tour of their brand new home. And then
That's
we leave
amazing.
we leave them bottles, and it's like people just love it.
That's amazing. That's so.
It's like so meaningful.
Yeah.
You guys.
What do you like? We all
Cabernet line.
Yeah, we should.
That,
No, we did.
definitely, right?
For Christmas last year, though, we give our clients presents every holiday for meaning Christmas and Hanukkah time, and we had one of a kind pieces made with the alpaca fibers.
Oh,
Yeah.
And there was
The pottery pieces.
yeah, and there was a
Aw.
picture of each alpaca with a story of which alpaca it was. So we did do that. That was really
That's
sweet,
very cool. That's
Yeah,
very
which-
special.
which was it was really fun. But
How'd
yeah,
you decide
tequila
who was
sounds
going to get
amazing.
each one?
Yeah.
So cute. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining us today on the iDesign Lab podcast. It was truly a pleasure.
yeah, thanks for having us.
And we'll have to stay in touch when you're in South Florida. We'll have to meet up for lunch or something.
No, we'd have to meet up for a margarita.
Margarita,
Yeah, you got
even
it.
better. You've got it.
Well, you're
That
you're
sounds
doing a
amazing.
house in Boca. That's five minutes from us.
away.
Oh, perfect. Well, we'll be there again soon, so we'll definitely let
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, we would love that. We'll stay
That'd be
in
so fun.
touch.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for listening to the iDesign Lab podcast.
iDesign Labs podcast is an SW Group production in association with the 5-Star and TW Interiors. To learn more about iDesign Lab or TW Interiors, please visit twinteriors.com.